My name is Scott Harris, founder of Catoctin Creek Distillery. Do you know where your whiskey is made? There is a lot of craft whiskey in the market today, but much of it is made in a large factory in Indiana and sold at a premium as handmade. At Catoctin Creek, we didn't get into this business to bottle someone else's whiskey, but to make our own unique whiskey from grain to bottle right here in Purcellville, Virginia. And making whiskey has been our passion since 2009. Catoctin Creek, true craft inspired by tradition. Catoctin Creek started way back in 2009. Becky and I were both engineers, and as a government contractor, I was looking for something a little more hands-on.
We were inspired really by the vibrant wine industry in the area, only we wanted to do something different.
I took the idea to Becky, said, let's start a distillery.
I thought, that's pretty crazy. I was a chemical engineer by training, so making whiskey was not something that was intimidating at all. We looked into what were the kinds of spirits that were being made in Virginia in the past, and that really inspired us to bring back rye whiskey to this part of the country. Rye whiskey is the historic spirit of Virginia. We reinterpret rye whiskey to be something that is really smooth, really drinkable, yet has the real character of the rye grain. We also produce brandies that we create from local fruit. We like to focus on working with local purveyors. It took us a long time to find someone locally who could provide us with the organically grown grain that we really use. So it's been a real wild ride. It's been a really great opportunity to build this business here in Virginia.
The process starts in this tank right here. This is our mash tank, and the mash tank is like a big crock pot. It's essentially where we cook the grain down to break down the sugars that we're going to need for fermentation.
Hundreds of pounds of rye are added to near boiling water, cooked, cooled, and then yeast is added to turn sugar into alcohol.
Inside every one of these vats then is a few hundred gallons of our fermenting rye mash. The mash, again, looks like a cake batter, but then with the yeast in it, it's essentially turning into beer, but with all the grains still in it. It's a big difference from the type of beer that we make than the type you might drink.
It takes a week for a batch of mash to ferment. Catoctin Creek usually has a fresh batch underway daily.
After these are fully fermented, they will then move to the stills over here, where we will then distill the alcohol out of the mash.
Catoctin Creek stills were custom made in Germany. They're hybrid pot column stills made of rolled, not hammered copper.
So we'll put 300 gallons of mash into the still, and we begin to then boil it. And distillation works because the boiling point of ethanol, which is the kind of alcohol we can drink, is lower than the boiling point of water. So alcohol boils off at about 78 degrees Celsius, and water, of course, doesn't boil off till about 100. So as we apply the heat, the alcohol will literally vaporize in the form of a steam. It rises up through the column and passes through the line arm and down into the condenser behind me, where the cold water jacket will cool the steam, that is alcohol, back into liquid, and then it flows into small buckets that we capture it in.
I mean, it almost looks like it's not moving, right?
We're getting flavors of caramel and flan and vanilla, toasted nuts. Those are wonderful flavors that are actually flavors of wood. Most of our barrels then are kept in an outdoor environment, no climate control, where they're exposed to the hot summers and the cold winters, and all of that change in climate is causing the whiskey to breathe in and out of the wood, picking up all those flavors.
Pull the nail out and we're gonna have some.
Oh
Dutch
man,
boy.
look at that. Sweet
Pass
nectar
them
of the
on, I'll
gods,
put them
baby.
over here.
How many do we need?
It's literally ping
8.
joy.
I'll get the other one to you.
Why am I holding this?
This
empty
is
cup?
only about 6-7 months old, so.
Wow. Hey,
Okay, I've got a half
I'm
one here.
recording.
We have,
Should be it, yeah.
oh boy.
all right.
Look at that,
so
baby.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do we have 8? Yep.
And the whiskey on the table goes round and round, round and round, round and round. And the whiskey on the table goes round and round all day long.